Hey everybody, how we doing? Thought I better check in once, let you know where we stand on everything, what's been happening. Don't mind the dog. Hey boys! Thought we'd come over and see the boys if we could. Now they're out in the pasture. Yeah, we can walk out there quick, huh? I got them moved over to here. Hang on just a second. Stay. There we go. Got them moved over to here. Here they come. You guys coming in to see me? Huh? There's our boys. Getting bigger all the time, aren't we? I don't have a name for either of them yet. Anybody got any good ideas? I'm all listening. They are both by Taz. All right, so Taz is sire on both. The brown one up front, his mother is by Lomax. So there's a Lomax Taz. And I guess the brown and white one, his grandsire would actually be Thriller. So he's a Thriller Taz. So anyway, anybody got any decent ideas for a name for either of them, let me know. You come over to the camera. Yeah. Should measure those horns. We'll take in October. Tell you what, in October, we're going to do breeding in October. These guys are going to be the breeders. So, yeah, you guys are going to have the work cut out for you. You too. We'll grab a hold of them then. We'll see if we get a measurement on them. But anyway, they're over here. I locked them in the small pen for a day or two, let them out in the pasture. They pretty got, they're still getting fed hay twice a day. They got the grain, and I just put some bedding in here. Just today, matter of fact. We've had some rain, so wanted to dry it out a little bit. So hang on, I gotta hang you up while I, hang on a second. All right, there we go. I couldn't close the door one-handed, so took two hands. Anyway, we had some rain. I was really glad all the lambs were separated out and gone. Had all the ones that were sold gone. These guys moved because the catch pen is where I keep them. And, oh, about 5-6 days ago, I guess it was now more, it rained. And we ended up with, had 2.6 inches, which is okay, but 2 of it came down in probably less than an hour. So it was, I had water in barns and places I've never had water before. So, I mean, it's a little downhill here, but man, it was really coming through. So let's cut through here. The girls are out here. Okay, hang on just a second. Skip on. The girls are here. So a little hot and humid today. We're a little cloudy, but it is humid. So they've been out pasture-wise. I move them around. This is the pastures they had been in. They're not in that anymore. I've sprayed that. That's been sprayed. The weeds have been sprayed, 2,4-D, keep the weeds down. So now they've been out here. They can go up there some. But you know what? Here it is. It is hot and humid, but it's, you know, it's cloudy. And here they are. They're all laying in here instead of being out on the grass. And a lot of that, I think, is, you know, feeding them twice a day. So this gal right here, I she'll tell you, you got, I don't even see it on the deal, a little dirty on the butt. I saw that the other day. Well, it's been a while now. Time goes fast, but noticed one day, a little bit dirty on the butt. I saw one loose stool in here. So I thought, well, I am not even taking any chances. I put them in quick. I grabbed her. I gave her Cydectin and Prohibit. I hit her with both. And then I kept her in. She stayed in the catch pen while the other ones were out here. And she was loose the next day. Of course, maybe that was me giving her Cydectin too, and the Prohibit could be part of it. But I monitored her in there. By the next day, she seemed a little better. I mean, she doesn't look any different than anybody else. It was just loose. So within 2 days, she was looking like that was back to normal. The stools were solid. It was up I kicked her back out, and now she's just been as good as everybody else. I've seen nothing else. Now, was that parasites and I did it? You know, I'm not going to take and grab a sample and drive an hour or 45 minutes up. It's just sometimes you can't do stuff like that. You don't have a vet close by. So in my case, no. But it could have been something she ate. You know, she could have moved into a different pasture. She finds some weeds or something or some certain stuff she didn't like. Maybe that disagreed with her. I don't know. And she was loose because of that. Maybe it was parasites. I don't know. Like I said, within 2 or 3 days, it was all cleaned up. So she's back to normal like everybody else since then. So, but I figured play it safe. I gave it to her. It isn't going to hurt anything. I know there's some people are going to say, oh, no, you got to worm them when you know you got to check them and you got to, you know, verify they got worms and what do, then you go ahead and worm them. Otherwise, I don't do that, folks. That's not my way of doing it. I don't do it. Basically, like I said, it's a long haul to make the change to be sure. I treated her for worms, kept her in for 2 or 3 days just to separate her out until she wasn't loose, and kicked her right back out, and everything's just like the same for everybody else now. So I did do that. Otherwise, guys, there just isn't. This is the dull time of year. There's nothing really happening. They're out on pasture. The lambs are all gone. Biggest thing around here lately was all the water in the barns. I was really glad, like I said, the lambs were not in the catch pen because it looked like there must have been a river going down through there. That had a lot of water going through it on that side. Otherwise, you know, I could do more. You know, you can see I'm feeding them the grass here twice a day. A little on the ground, but it's cleaned up because I cleaned it up today. So there's the four-wheeler. I bring it in. I do that about every 2 weeks. And if I do it about every 2 weeks, it takes maybe about 3 loads. And I got a spot way back out in the backfield. I dump it back there. You know, I guess in some people doing videos, I could have parked it. I could have set up the cameras, and you could have watched me loading that cart up 3 times and made a video out of that. And I even watch videos like that. So, but that's just not what I want to do. I think it's kind of stupid to sit and watch me shovel wet hay into a cart to clean up. Tell you I cleaned it up, fine. That it needs to keep cleaned up, I think it does. That's fine. And let's be totally honest. If I'm going to make a video of you watching me shovel wet hay in a cart, it'll take me twice as long to do it. By the time I set up the cameras and I do this and I do that and I get it all done, the whole job takes twice as long. So, you know what? You got wet hay by your feeder, clean it up every couple weeks the way I did. How's that? Problem solved. And you didn't have to watch 5 minutes of me cleaning the whole thing up. I need to mow the grass in here. They won't eat this stuff. I have no idea what grass it is. Bent grass, I don't know. I'll tell you what kind of grass it is. It's the kind of grass they won't eat because it just keeps growing up. They'll eat the weeds in here every once in a while, but for the most part, they're not eating the grass. I might have to get a mower in here. I did actually mow the pastures, but I might have to mow this pen when it's all said and done. All right. I don't know when I'm going to do another video, guys. I don't want to do them. Like I said, I don't want to do a video of me just shoveling wet hay into a cart so you can see me do that. I think that's kind of ridiculous. If I want to do a video, I want to make it worth the effort and there's something actually there. But I did want to get back, and I know it's been a few weeks, get another video out so you do see something. I wanted to let you know about the one over here that I wasn't sure if she was wormy or not, but just in case she was, I treated her. Wanted to show you the ram lambs so you get a chance to see them and see how the growth update on them. Otherwise, we'll be back in a few weeks, but maybe I can do you some updates again in a few weeks. But this is the slow time. This is the time there's just not much. It's hot, it's sticky, it's sunny or rainy or whichever it's going to be. But it's more of a time for me to kind of take it easy. So we'll take a break for a few weeks. If something happens, I'll be back and let you know. But otherwise, I'll be back in a few weeks, and I guess we're going to have to start thinking about breeding season and who gets bred by who. I guess that's probably the next thing we need to think about. Or a name. You guys come up with some names, ideas for me. I'd appreciate that. I got to get these guys registered one of these days. And that's one thing. registrations, I guess I asked her, as people do. I've got a couple. Let me show you real quick. I thought I was going to quit. I'm not. Matter of fact, they're standing right together. That's Callie. And then right behind her is B7, the black one, with the 7 on the side. Those two are getting real close to having two Gold Star rams. All right, they've each had one now. In the B7, 7, Taz was from her. In Callie's case, a ram lamb that I sold 2 years ago. I think if I can get a picture, if I have a picture, I'll put it here. That was one I sold 2 years ago. He just got measured for Gold Star. So they each have a Gold Star. Now, if a ewe has 2 Gold Star rams, they get a Register of Merit certificate. They get an award on that. The problem you run into sometimes is we're raising painted desert sheep. We're raising rams that are usually end up going for hunting preserves or stuff like that. And that means you get a lot of people don't bother to register. So if I take B7 over there, she's had Taz. There's her Gold Star ram. And here's Taz's twin brother. Clearly, he's got the size to be a Gold Star ram, but he went to somebody that all they care about is for shooters, never bothered to register, and he will never be measured. So now B7 did have a nice black and white ram lamb this year, sent him back east. So I'm really hoping he gets measured, and 2 years from today, we're going to be talking about his Gold Star measurements, and she'll get a Register of Merit. As far as Callie there, she's got one. She had one from last year. We'll see how he's doing here next year. And of course, the brown and white that I saved back, that's her ram lamb. So maybe that'll be the second chance to get one. But you know, I love the awards, and they do the Gold Stars, the Register of Merits and stuff. But you know, it just comes back to, are people really going to bother to register them, or do they not care? And unfortunately, if you're doing breeders and you're selling for other people to breed, you care. But you don't never know that. There's a lot of people are buying. They're buying just to raise and sell them to shooters, and they really don't care about the other stuff. So I've seen a lot of rams out there that people have sent me pictures back later. They clearly would be Gold Stars, but they never cared. They were doing shooters. Nobody cared, and I guess that's the tough part of the industry. You'd like to see all the Gold Stars you can get, but you can't keep them long enough to get them there before you sell them. You really can't keep that many around. But anyway, we'll see what happens in the future with them. But for now, I guess that's all I'm going to do for now, guys. We'll check back to you in a few weeks.